Assistant to Sean Diddy Combs speaking out in the new interview with new allegations about wild parties and drug use.
I'm sorry, I'm just like really, I'm in this moment right now. This is crazy. Sorry. People don't really know how much what it does to you when something that you love is taken from you and thrown away like it don't even matter, and then they move on with their lives and you're stuck. You're stuck. During those years, you're still stuck 21 years later.
One of hip-hop's most untouchable legends just flipped on his own crew, and the fallout could shake the game to its core. Insiders close to the federal investigation into Sean Diddy Combs say Snoop Dogg isn't just watching from the sidelines anymore. He's a cooperating insider, someone who saw it all firsthand. From the wild parties to the whispered secrets and the dark deals behind the glitz, Snoop's reportedly ready to spill every hidden detail about how deep this operation really went. This goes way beyond Diddy's 50-month sentence for transporting individuals for illicit encounters. It's about a system that's been shaping the entertainment world from the shadows for decades. And now, one man might finally blow the lid off the entire thing. By the time Diddy landed at FCI Fort Dix in New Jersey in late October 2025, the case had already exploded past the boundaries of the music industry. Court documents described a world of manipulation, illegal substances, and exploitation buried under luxury and fame.
And I'm just getting word right now that we are hearing that Kid Cudi, who is going to be an important witness in this case, that he possibly is going to take the stand tomorrow. So that's going to be interesting testimony, because this is a situation in which Sean Combs had said that he was jealous and accusing Cassie Ventura of cheating on him.
But what made everyone stop talking and start listening was the leaked affidavit, sealed until now, that actually named Snoop Dogg as a cooperating witness. For years, Snoop brushed off talk about those infamous Hamptons white parties. But now, word is he's handed over everything: attendee lists, money trails, and even unseen footage tying some of the most powerful figures in music and politics to Diddy's inner circle. It's the kind of evidence that could rewrite hip-hop history overnight. To grasp just how heavy this is, you have to go back to where it all started. In the early 90s, Snoop and Diddy were on opposite sides of the East Coast-West Coast divide. Diddy running Bad Boy Records while Snoop rolled with Suge Knight and Death Row. That feud wasn't just business, it was war, and it defined the sound of an entire generation. But time flips everything. By the mid-2000s, Snoop was suddenly a regular at Diddy's legendary Hamptons white parties, massive high-class gatherings where stars like Paris Hilton and Leonardo DiCaprio partied under the same roof. Now, those nights might hold the clues that could end more than just careers. They could shatter legacies. Jay-Z, high-profile moguls, and even powerful political families all showed up in matching white outfits, posing for photos and smiling like it was all about unity and success. But behind the scenes, something darker was unfolding. Snoop was right there too, patching up old rivalries and flashing his famous grin on the red carpet. Yet insiders now claim those gatherings weren't just elite parties. They were recruitment grounds for Diddy's secret inner world. The same glitz that once symbolized power is now dripping with hypocrisy. Those Hamptons parties were advertised as exclusive celebrations of achievement, but witnesses describe a totally different reality. Hidden hallways, sealed-off rooms, staff told to keep quiet, and phones collected at the door. It was a fortress of secrecy. When Cassie Ventura dropped her 2023 lawsuit, it shattered the illusion, accusing Diddy of years of control and forced participation in what prosecutors later called freak-offs. That phrase became the chilling code for Diddy's hidden empire, private events packed with substances, cameras, and manipulation.
Clean businessman who rise to the top because he was such a powerful and, smart, educated man. I had no idea that he had this other side to him. And when I started to get exposed to his lifestyle, I started to really realize, like, this guy has an addiction. It's not just, once every few weeks, it's every day, every hour.
When CNN leaked that shocking 2016 footage of Diddy attacking Ventura in a Los Angeles hotel hallway, it sent shockwaves across the world. But insiders say that wasn't just another headline. It was the moment Snoop went silent. He'd seen too much before, but that video made him realize the system built to protect Diddy was unstoppable. And if it could shield him, it could bury anyone. Then came the explosion, literally. Back in December 2011, after Cassie briefly dated Kid Cudi, his car was mysteriously torched in his own driveway. Cudi later confirmed the story himself, calling it a message. Investigators now suspect that fiery incident was part of a larger web of intimidation, one that stretched from artists to assistants, from stylists to business partners, all meant to keep people under control. Sources close to the investigation claim federal agents were already eyeing Snoop as early as 2022, right when he was sealing the deal to take full control of Death Row Records. They didn't see him as part of a criminal crew, but as someone who understood how Diddy's hidden network really worked, from the assistants handling travel, to the staff managing substances, to the execs polishing dirty reputations through fake charity events. It was an empire built on image, and Snoop had seen it from the inside. Everything changed in 2024 when Christina Coram, Diddy's former chief of staff, dropped a bomb in court. She testified that a pink-tinted powder was handed out at those exclusive parties, supposedly to keep guests calm and obedient. She claimed she was personally ordered to secure it for Diddy and for visiting celebrities. Her words didn't just turn heads, they sent shockwaves through the industry. Suddenly, people who used to laugh off the rumors were panicking. This time it wasn't gossip, it was logistics. When federal investigators traced the receipts and digital trails, they allegedly found Snoop's name on multiple guest lists tied to events now under federal review. And that's when things shifted. Sources say Snoop decided to cooperate soon after, under an attorney-negotiated deal that offered leniency for separate financial issues. It was a move that changed everything. But here's what makes it even wilder. Snoop wasn't just a name on a list. He shared stages, business ventures, and private deals with Diddy. According to insiders, he even had access to guest rosters and security contracts that kept those parties airtight. What once looked like an exclusive lifestyle now appears to be a controlled setup, one designed to test, record, and in some cases, trap the very stars who attended. While no one can yet confirm which celebrities are listed in the sealed affidavit,
to engage in all these freak-offs with him, and he sounds really pissed off.
Hey, I really don't know what's going on with you, but I just want to just give you a heads up that I'm about to really disappear on you. You feel me? I'm not going to be playing these games with you at all, at all. So I don't know, you think you silent treating me, and you think I'm going to be, nah. You'll have a rude awakening.
the pattern is becoming impossible to ignore. The implications here are absolutely explosive. Usher, long seen as Diddy's protege, was suddenly pulled into the chaos after testimony described a shocking assault on Cassie at a public restaurant back in 2010. Witness Dawn, Richard told the jury she personally saw Diddy strike Ventura, while several big-name celebrities, including Usher, sat frozen in disbelief. No one stepped in. The silence in that moment still echoes loud today. Then comes Young Miami, who dated Diddy from 2021 to 2023, now facing a storm of new questions about what she really knew. She's publicly denied having any part in Diddy's wrongdoing, but court documents hint that her own cousin might have been involved in sourcing party supplies for those secret gatherings. Insiders say the line between being a partner and being a facilitator got dangerously blurred as Diddy's empire grew bigger and bolder. And just when it seemed the dust couldn't get thicker, an old case from the 2000 VMAs after-party resurfaced. Records describe an unnamed minor accusing both Diddy and another major star, later identified as Jay-Z, of serious misconduct. Though the case was quietly dropped years ago, recent indictments have pushed attorneys to reopen it, digging into whether Diddy's same circle of handlers and private security could have played a role back then. For years, these stories were just scattered whispers, isolated rumors that never seemed to connect. But the second Snoop's name appeared in those federal files, everything changed. Investigators began linking the pieces together, mapping out a tangled web that may reveal just how deep this empire of secrets really runs. At the center of all this chaos lies one haunting question. How did so many powerful people attend the same events, witness the same disturbing scenes, and still pretend they knew nothing? Former assistants paint an eerie picture of those nights. High-profile guests, actors, models, even royals, walking through candlelit corridors while staff floated by with trays of shimmering drinks laced with mysterious, unlabeled powders. The photos from those parties show glitz and glamour, but witnesses swear what happened off camera was something far darker. Those so-called freak-offs weren't wild spur-of-the-moment parties, they were productions, carefully planned, scheduled weekly, filmed and archived like a secret show. And now those very archives have become crucial evidence in the federal investigation. Snoop's decision to finally speak out has reportedly cracked the foundation of the entire industry. Some of his longtime peers are furious, calling it betrayal, while others whisper he's just doing what he has to do to survive. From behind bars, Suge Knight fired shots earlier this year, accusing Snoop of destroying the legacy of Death Row Records. But what Suge didn't realize was that Snoop was already deep in talks with investigators at that very moment. Sources close to him describe months of tense back-and-forth negotiations, trying to walk that razor-thin line between loyalty and self-preservation. Snoop had built himself into the nation's laid-back icon, the cool, unshakable legend who rose above the chaos of his past. But now, that same smooth charm and credibility might be the key that helps the government dismantle one of the most powerful cultures of silence the entertainment world has
saw no way out other than doing what she told her to do. He had mentally controlled her. It's like a pimp. Diddy had pimp potential. He had her mind messed up where it controlled her.
Ever seen. And the stakes? They've never been higher. The sealed affidavit reportedly contains private messages between Diddy's top executives at Bad Boy Entertainment and multiple event planners tied directly to those infamous white parties. Communications that could expose just how deep this operation really went. Those leaked communications reportedly reveal an entire underground system, a web of drivers, hotel coordinators, and substance suppliers moving seamlessly between Los Angeles, Miami, and Ibiza. Federal agents now believe it operated like a full-blown enterprise, complete with its own chain of command. If that's true, Diddy's conviction might only be the opening act, and Snoop's cooperation could be the spark that sets off a storm of new subpoenas. The dominoes are already falling fast. As word of Snoop's involvement spreads, names once thought untouchable are suddenly surfacing in court documents and anonymous leaks. Usher's silence during Cassie Ventura's assault is now being picked apart by investigators. Young Miami's name appears in a separate civil suit tied to alleged substance distribution, and Jay-Z's old 2000 case is making waves again.
Of coming forward, they've been afraid of what he could potentially do to them within the industry, what he could do to them professionally, maybe even personally. And so yes, it's been a dark secret they've held on to for a very, very long time.
Resurfacing across online forums run by victims' rights advocates. Each new detail draws another line, another name, another link back to those glittering nights in the Hamptons and the hidden corners of Los Angeles. For the first time, Hollywood doesn't know who to stand behind or who to distance from. It's chaos in the upper circles. And insiders say Snoop didn't just wake up one day and decide to talk. He's been building up to this moment for years. Sources claim federal prosecutors never wanted just one man. They were after the entire ecosystem that protected him, financed him, and kept him untouchable. Now the question isn't if Diddy's empire will crumble. It's how many others will fall with it. If Snoop's talking, who's next? And when the indictments finally drop, will Hollywood admit what it's long whispered in private? Or will it keep shielding its own behind the same polished smiles? Insiders say the first wave of arrests could hit within weeks, and the names on that list, they'll leave the entire industry stunned. The RICO investigation has quietly expanded, and this time, it's not just aimed at Sean Diddy Combs. It's targeting everyone who helped keep his empire alive. These federal laws are built for one thing: taking down enterprises that thrive on silence. And that means anyone who managed the guest lists, handled travel schedules, or chose to look the other way could be next in line.
Rap as a conversation more or less than a rap, because if you take the music off and just listen to my words, it's like I'm conversating with you rather than screaming and hollering over.
This isn't just the fall of one man, it's the potential unraveling of an entire industry that may have helped him keep the machine running. The FBI's task force isn't just asking who knew anymore, they're asking who profited. The ripple effects are already spreading fast. Usher, once seen as Diddy's golden protege, is now under the microscope for his years of silence. He wasn't just present during that 2010 restaurant assault involving Cassie Ventura. According to witness testimony, he stayed quiet for 14 years, even after the 2016 hotel hallway footage surfaced for the world to see. Legal experts say that kind of silence could land him in serious trouble under the federal aiding and abetting laws. For the first time ever, just being in the room might carry the same legal weight as the ones who pulled the strings behind those closed doors. And then there's young Miami, whose name just won't disappear from the paperwork and whispered conversations. The story forming around her is far darker than most people ever expected. While she hasn't been charged with anything, a 2024 court filing mentions several plaintiffs describing a young female artist close to Diddy, who allegedly arranged deliveries for his private gatherings. Insiders claim those deliveries weren't champagne bottles or flower bouquets. They were mysterious substances meant to keep guests calm and compliant throughout the night. That kind of allegation could flip everything, turning someone once seen as a loyal companion into one of the government's most valuable witnesses. She continues to deny having any involvement, saying she wasn't even around during that period, but the timing of the lawsuits paints a very different picture. What's clear is this: the circle is tightening, and the silence that once protected the powerful is starting to crack. Jay-Z's name is officially back in the spotlight. That long-buried lawsuit from the 2000 VMA afterparty has resurfaced in federal archives, sparking brand new questions about what really went down that night. The original filing was dismissed quietly years ago, but now multiple attorneys representing different plaintiffs are fighting to reopen it, this time under the expanded RICO framework. If that happens, it could be historic. The first time the government links Diddy's criminal conviction to a much wider network of enablers that stretched across music, film, and corporate sponsorships. As one former event promoter bluntly put it, these weren't accidents, they were logistics. But in the middle of this entire storm stands one of hip-hop's most calculated survivors, Snoop Dogg. For years, he played it cool, sticking to the unspoken code that kept the entertainment world sealed off from outsiders.
You all right?
Dear God, let this gangbanger
please
beat this
I
case.
thought that right. Because I thought he had so much. He's one of the most famous human beings on the face of the earth.
100%.
And the thing about Snoop, I thought his heart was in the right place, but I thought theirs wasn't. Never take nothing from them.
So why is he finally talking now? Insiders close to the negotiation table say his move isn't just about doing what's right. It's about strategy. According to sources, federal investigators offered Snoop a form of conditional immunity in exchange for full cooperation and detailed testimony about Diddy's hidden network. One insider even called it a survival deal, a once-in-a-lifetime shot to walk away untouched while reshaping the game itself. But Snoop's role goes way deeper than just helping prosecutors. He's quietly positioning himself as the architect of a purge that could rewrite the entire power structure of hip-hop for the next generation. The man once seen as the ultimate bridge between old-school legends and new-school stars might now be the one dismantling the very empire he helped glamorize. And the whispers just keep growing louder. A high-level industry contact claims Snoop's deal only guarantees immunity if his testimony leads to at least 3 major convictions. That clause, if it's real, means his cooperation is literally a countdown. He's got to deliver names, evidence, and results, or his own protection could disappear overnight. Nobody knows who's already been named, and that mystery has the entire industry shaking. The fear is thick in the air. Record executives, stylists, and former assistants are scrambling to hire lawyers, while streaming platforms quietly comb through their contracts with every artist tied to Bad Boy Entertainment. The walls are closing in fast, and behind the flashy headlines, the legal math looks brutal. Diddy's 2025 conviction only covered the charge of transporting individuals for illicit encounters, but that was just the tip of the iceberg. Over 100 lawsuits are still active, each one stretching the timeline further, adding new witnesses, and drawing more connections between celebrity power circles and the corporate machinery behind them. What started with Cassie Ventura's courage to speak out has now snowballed into a full-blown collapse of the entertainment hierarchy itself. Here's the catch. The prosecutors don't even need to prove that every celebrity or executive committed the same crimes. They only need to show that each person played a role in keeping the machine alive. That's why this case isn't just targeting the guilty. It's exposing the system that protected them. And right in the center of that storm stands Snoop Dogg, the cultural survivor who managed to outlive every era of hip-hop chaos. For decades, he reinvented himself, transforming from gangsta rap icon to America's most laid-back legend, the smiling face of hip-hop respectability. But now, insiders claim that transformation came with a heavy cost. According to sources inside the investigation, Snoop isn't just a witness, he's the map. One insider put it bluntly. He knows where the tapes are, who handled the money, and who cleaned up the mess. That's what makes his cooperation so explosive. His knowledge doesn't just connect the dots, it exposes the entire blueprint of how Diddy's empire operated, who helped keep it alive, and how far the silence went. It's easy to see why the feds want Snoop on their side. He's the ultimate bridge between two eras, the raw street empire of the old days and the polished corporate elite that rules the charts now. But we can't dodge the bigger question anymore. How did this culture of silence and protection survive for decades? The music business thrived on power, access, and loyalty, where fame excused everything and NDAs took the place of conscience. Think about it. The same studios that preached empowerment were secretly funding quiet settlements. The same award shows that showered Diddy with trophies were really celebrating a system built to protect him. And now those same executives are glued to their phones, waiting for that one message or subpoena that could turn their world upside down. Somewhere in New Jersey, Diddy sits in Fort Dix, watching the empire he built. Brick by brick, crumble name by name. As the next wave of indictments creeps closer, one question lingers. How deep does this go? If Snoop's testimony truly uncovers the web behind Diddy's empire, this isn't just about one man's fall. It's about an industry-wide reckoning that could rewrite the entire story of modern entertainment. The question now isn't if more names will drop. It's whether the world is ready to face the truth when they do. Because when those names hit the headlines, will we be shocked? Or will we finally admit we've been looking away all along? The silence that once protected the powerful is finally cracking, and there's no going back now. Stay tuned, stay sharp, and keep your eyes open, because every new leak, every court date, and every whisper from the inside could flip this story again. What do you think? Who's next on the list? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and make sure to subscribe for more breaking updates. Share this with your friends so they don't miss what's coming next, because this story is far from over. See you in the next one.